The sun was just beginning to rise as we sailed towards a special chain of islands in the Atlantic Ocean. I was planning on getting to see some cool things, but little did I know the adventure we'd have once we arrived. We slowly started to make our way through the crystal clear rivers. As we got further in, I got more and more excited to jump in and see what animals call these waters home. And as soon as we did, we immediately became surrounded by all kinds of bizarre creatures. But the biggest and most interesting was easily the manatee. These guys are sometimes also called sea cows, and with good reason. Like cows, they are mammals, and they spend their day grazing seagrass off of the ocean floor. Unfortunately, they are also highly endangered. Because they are mammals, they need to stay close to the surface to breathe. This makes them a really easy target for boat strikes. Sadly, it's hard to find a manatee that doesn't have cuts from boat propellers all over its back. This one seems to have been lucky so far. The only thing on its back was a whole lot of algae. Our first manatee encounter was amazing, but we wanted to head to a spot where the water was even more clear. We found a great spot, but there were no manatees in sight. A baby manatee calf appeared out of nowhere. He was making little calls to try to find his mom. We knew we needed to help. He was actually quite friendly, and he kept wanting to play with us, especially our feet. We decided to name him Snoopy for the way he kept wanting us to pet him just like a dog would. As you can see, Snoopy does have a small white scar from a boat propeller along his back. Maybe that's how he got separated from his mom. As we kept looking around for Snoopy's mom, it became clear that we needed to stop and get him some food. Thankfully, it wasn't hard to find some. Beds of seagrass like this one were covering the ocean floor, and manatees aren't the only animal that eats from them. These pipefish like to wait and eat the scraps that float up from the bottom of the seagrass. Those pipefish were all over the place, and as I'd look down into the grass, you could also see smaller fish and tiny crabs. But we were here to get Snoopy some food. After a well-deserved meal, we continued our search to find Snoopy's mom. As you can see, the pipefish were having a feast with the mess he left behind. As we were leaving the seagrass bed, the water slowly started to become more and more murky. We also started to see some bigger fish, which made us think that maybe a big manatee could be just around the corner. And sure enough, we finally found her. Turns out she was making a call trying to find Snoopy too. I was happy we found her, but Snoopy was ecstatic. He swam as fast as he could to get back over to his mom. I took a big sigh of relief as they finally were reunited. I could tell that they were happy to be back together too. But they decided to swim circles around us for a little while. Who knows, maybe it was as a way of thanking us. Helping Snoopy find his mom was an experience I will never forget. And I'm glad I was able to capture it on video to show you guys. I knew my job was done and it was about time for me to leave. They stayed with us for a while as we headed back through the seagrass and back towards our boat. As I was getting ready to get back on the boat, the two manatees began to swim away. But before I could get back on, Snoopy came over and I got to say one final goodbye. I know I'll miss him for sure. It was such an amazing adventure. Maybe one day I'll be able to bump into him again. But I'm so glad you guys got to watch. Make sure to keep an eye out for more videos coming to my channel very soon. Subscribe if you don't want to miss them, and I'll see you guys on my next adventure.